Welcome everyone to the Our Kids Q&A Roundtable. My name is Lisa Little and I am the senior level visual arts and philosophy teacher, and I am the diploma program coordinator at Lynn-Rose School. Lynn-Rose is an IB world school that offers the primary years, middle years, and diploma program, as well as the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. The Roundtable experience is a very unique experience that allows our community to share their stories about being members of the Lynn-Rose Schools community. Today, I am joined by our amazing parent volunteer who has 2 children at our school, Melanie, as well as our students, Adriana and Ralia, who have been with us for many years. I'd like to start our roundtable with questions for our student panelists. Ralia, what do you appreciate most about Lynn-Rose Schools, and how has your perspective changed since you first joined us?
What I appreciate the most about Lynn-Rose Schools is definitely the teacher and staff. We have so much mutual respect for each other, and I think that mutual respect makes you pay attention more in class because of the respect that you have for your teacher and your teacher has for yourself. And we also have these things called study hall hours and the after school hours, where if you're having trouble with anything, you just go to your teacher and your teacher will explain everything to you from A to Z. No matter how long it takes, they will make sure they won't stop until you understand. And that's what I love about the staff and teachers. Adriana, do you have anything to say about that?
Like my friends are like very helpful and we like learn a lot together.
That's amazing. Adriana, do you have anything else you'd like to add in? Perfect. All right, next question. What, to the best of your knowledge, most differentiates Lynn-Rose School from others? Ralia?
I think what differentiates Lynn-Rose School from others, definitely that we're very big on mental health. Especially because of the pandemic, we're very short-tempered, the high school students and the middle school students. We're very short-tempered when it comes to stress and homework and all of this. So I think mental health is very important. And every once in a while, we actually have these mental health weeks where the teachers don't give us any homework for the whole week. And every day of the week during lunch periods, we have different activities like yoga and meditation, finger painting, board games, Mario Kart, and much more. I find it very relaxing, very like refreshing in a way, so I can perform better academically the week after.
Adriana, what about you? What most differentiates Lynn-Rose?
There are like smaller classes. So like some of my friends have like 20 people in their classes, but we have like 12 people in our classes, which means like it's easier to make friends and stuff. And then we also get like taught one higher grade than we are. So if I'm in grade 4, I get taught grade 5, which makes us like push our learning.
Excellent. Ralia, if the school was represented by a single person, what would its personality be like in only 3 words?
I think the 3 words that I would choose are strength, wisdom, and integrity. When it comes to integrity, teachers are very honest with the students. Like if we are kind of not doing our best in work, they will push us to do better. Not beating around the bush, they won't sugarcoat anything, but they will help you in many ways until you become the best version of yourself. I believe the teachers here want to shape you to like the best student that you can possibly be, and I find that very helpful. And it's a very positive and lifting environment in the school. Like everyone supports one another, everyone wants what's best for one another. So yeah, those are the 3 words that I would choose.
Adriana, what would your 3 words be?
I said kind, fun, and helpful because like we do like teamwork activities and our teacher always picks like the best students that work with us the best. So like everything's just like, and everyone's kind and all the stuff we do is fun and like, yeah.
That sounds amazing. Going back to Ralia, what one thing would you change about the school for the better if you had to choose something?
I think if I had to choose something, I would choose the uniform. We have a very like low variety in hoodies, and I tend to get really cold at school. And I would love to be warm in the school that I'm representing and the school that I go to. But thankfully, we have many casual days to compensate for the uniform problem. So I'm very thankful for that.
Adriana, what one thing would you change about the school for the better?
Like there's a library in the main campus right now, but I would want like an updated one in the East Wing campus.
It's really good to hear. All right, Ralia, what would families find most surprising about Lynn-Rose?
I think what families would find most surprising about Lynn-Rose is definitely the amount of clubs that we have. We are obviously in a very professional academic environment at school, but the clubs make the school a lot more fun. We have clubs every Tuesday and Thursday, and some of the clubs that we have are chess club, eco club, athletics club, student committee, board games club, fencing club, and much more. So that's what I find really fun about the school.
Very cool. What about you, Adriana? What would be most surprising to new families?
Like how we get to work in co-op and like how we get to work in groups and we do lots of like cooperative activities. And like Ralia said, like we, instead of Tuesday and Thursday, we have clubs on Wednesday, and like one teacher sets it up each day, each Wednesday, and we just do lots of fun clubs.
What's your favorite club?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna ask her what her favorite club is.
That's what I was gonna do.
Oh,
The
great.
recent one we just did yesterday, one of the teachers, he set it up. It's called Dance Club, and we did it in the gym. And he put like a disco ball, and he put Just Dance on the screen, and we all just like, I don't know, played and like did dancing.
That's really awesome. Ralia, what's your favorite club at school?
My favorite club is the club that I'm a part of, which is called Eco Club. We are revamping the courtyard in our school, and we're planting flowers, vegetables, and we're learning about the environment, and we're really helping the environment in a way.
Yeah, you guys just finished a really amazing fundraiser for that club.
Yeah.
All right, and my final question to our two student panelists. What advice would you give to students just entering the school? First from our eldest, Ralia.
The advice that I would give them is definitely try to balance out your social life and your academic life. I think everyone in Lynn-Rose won't leave anyone out, and I think everyone here is so friendly. And if you have any troubles with your academics, you can just ask a friend or a teacher, and they will help you. Just like I said before, everyone's very supportive of one another, and no one really gets left out in Lynn-Rose. So those are my favorite things.
Nice. Adriana, you get the final word. What would your big piece of advice be?
I would say like enjoy school. Don't be like, oh, it's school today. We have like just like do what you like enjoy school. And just like really just like ask, don't be afraid to ask questions to like the principals or your teacher or the vice principals, and be honest.
Very good advice.
That's a good one, Adriana.
Fantastic answers, ladies. Thank you for sharing your experiences. And I would like to now move to our parent volunteer, Melanie.
Hello.
Why did you choose Lynn-Rose Schools originally? In which way is the school what you expected, and in which ways is it not?
So as you know, when we're coming to look, we always have a choice when we come to a private system, other than the public school. Primarily what we were looking for in a private school was small class sizes. And that was my whole focus, was just looking at class sizes. When I walked into Lynn-Rose, it was about the third school that we had seen. And the moment I walked in, I knew that my kid would, well, at the time was my son, would do very well there. It was very friendly. They're very family oriented. It's small enough that you weren't just a number. They took my son and they brought him into a JK class and left him there while we got a tour of the school, my husband and I. And my son was crying when we left him. And when we came to get him, he was happy as anything, didn't want to leave. So that was really the benefit for me, was the family atmosphere and always feeling like part of the Lynn-Rose family. And I would say everything that I expected has happened. I've seen my kids grow in the school from A to Z, learning, you know, how to read and write at a very young age, learning math skills in JK and taking that forward into SK in grade 1. And, you know, I just think the growth has been tremendous within the school.
So is there any way in which the school was not what you expected?
No, not at all. I would say it's exactly what I needed. Whenever we did need support from the school, from the teachers or from the principal, the vice principal, we always got that support no matter what, whether it be for extra help for, you know, one of the kids, or whether there was, you know, other things that we needed to discuss with the teachers. They were always very open, honest, and friendly, willing to help all the time. So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
What is the biggest impact that Lynn-Rose has had on your children?
I would say the development of self-confidence and being independent, instilling independence. Sometimes as parents, we like to hold on to the kids for a longer than what we need to. And I find the school has had an awesome way of teaching them to become independent thinkers and learners, and making education fun. They don't come home and say it's boring. They come home and they have had an interesting time at school. There's been conversations. It's, you know, we can sit at the kitchen table and have great discussions about, you know, what someone's learned in history class, for example, or, you know, what's next on the math test. And, you know, there's excitement there that I didn't expect necessarily. So.
You touched on this a little bit, but I'll ask you just in case you want to build on it. What do your children have to say about Lynn-Rose?
They, I would say, appreciate the small classes. Like I said from the very beginning, that was a big thing for us. They appreciate the small classes. They appreciate the fact that their teachers are always there, that there's one-on-one help when it's needed. And if there's extra that's needed, the teachers are there. And I think that the clubs are always something that pre-COVID, my kids were, you know, having fun with. And then during COVID, that got a little challenging, being on the screen all the time. So, you know, eventually they'll return back to the normal. So the clubs were also something that they enjoyed. All
right. Same question to you as I gave to the students. If
Mm-hmm.
a school were represented as a single person, what would its personality be like in only 3 words?
So I said perseverance, friendliness, and compassionate. And the reason I chose those 3 is because I find Lynn-Rose strives to be the best in education, but they also want you to have fun. They don't want you to burn yourself out. They want you to learn and become a well-rounded individual that can contribute to the community and to society in the future.
And the final question, how would you describe the values of the school and the values of the families in the school community?
I would say that, you know, the school itself harnesses the love of learning and really nurtures the child's curiosity. So that they can learn independently and learn how to think critically. And at the same time, they're taught how to be better world citizens, is what I would call them. And in terms of the families, I would say every family that I've ever met from Lynn-Rose Heights or Lynn-Rose schools have always been extremely supportive. They have that same curiosity of learning. That's what they want in their children. They want the small class sizes. And really it's harnessing the joy of learning and making sure that the joy of learning is coming out and they're having fun, so that your kids are actually going to school, doing the work, but having fun at the same time.
All right. We flew through those questions, so I have a few of my own for anyone who is bold enough to answer on the spot. And my first is, what is your single favorite memory? From any of your years at Lynn-Rose, from your first day to today, what is your single favorite memory?
I think definitely 100% the plays, the spring plays. I remember pre-COVID, they were so fun. The preparation, the costumes, trying on the costumes, and the choreography, the music. I just loved it. I loved the process. I loved everything about it. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite production we did?
Probably, definitely Alice in Wonderland, because the costumes were really cool. The music was really fun. And so is Willy Wonka. The Willy Wonka costumes are really fun too. I think, yeah, those were definitely my favorite memories. Yeah.
You know, I had forgotten, not forgotten intentionally, but I've forgotten about those productions and the theater productions. They were awesome. I remember the first year when our son, our oldest, was in the school, and we attended, I think it was Under the Sea. So it was the Little Mermaid. And I was blown away by how well those kids did in that theater. For the limited amount of time that they have, it's 2 to 3 months, I believe, Miss Little, if my memory's right, that they have to prepare, but they also have to do the schoolwork at the same time. So I was really blown away how well everything just came together on those theaters.
What about you, Adriana? Favorite memory?
No, I don't have favorites. I have lots. I have like a billion.
So pick a few.
Well, I'm just gonna use grade 4 then, because like that's the one that we've only been a year. So one time, my friend, she was playing with like this type of fidget, and she passed it along the class, and it just randomly made a squeaking noise that sounded like a cat, and the fidget was a cat. And it I don't know how it made a cat noise, but I don't know, like, I don't know how you explain it.
What was your favorite play? Did you have a favorite? Was it Willy Wonka?
I was only in Willy Wonka, I think. The one with the
Oh yeah? I thought you had 2 of them. Maybe.
I was only in the candy, the one where I was like a unicorn or something.
Oh, okay, where you did the dance.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything dance related, that's Adriana.
And I remember the boys were like little candy swirls or something like that.
They were like candy clowns.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear.
This little, just one little thing too, on one of the favorite or one of the proudest moments, let's say I'd have, with Adriana, at least, because she's sitting here with me, would be when she was in, and even how the school kind of elevates the learning, and this demonstrates how they do it, and also demonstrates their core values as well, is when she was in SK, she was awarded the, can't remember the type, the Victoria.
Yeah, it was
I can't remember her last name.
It was a kindness award. This girl, like in our school, was like really kind, but she passed away, I think. So now they just award or something. And
usually they award it to an older student, but that year they made an exception for Adriana because of some of the assistance that she was giving to one of her classmates during class time. So that was something that was very special for me. And I thought that was just Lynn-Rose being a family and seeing and pointing out and saying, you know, we have to elevate this child and tell them good job, you know. And so that was something that I'm very proud of.
If I recall correctly, wasn't that at the last barbecue we had before COVID struck?
Before COVID.
I don't know.
Might have been grade 1.
It was SK, honey.
Oh,
okay. So then grade 1 was the last one, and then grade 2 was online, grade 3 was online.
Yeah.
And then grade 4, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was outside, and I was totally floored. I wasn't even prepared for it. And when they named Adriana, I'm like, Adriana, what? You know? So but that was nice. It was nice
No,
for them to recognize.
I remember I came back because we sat in lines. And my whole SK class was just like had their hands up like this, and they wanted me to like come and give them a high five.
Yeah. So they were sharing in your joy, which is another testament to the friends, the kindness, and the helpful, what Adriana was mentioning.
And people being supportive of each other. Students of Lynn-Rose being very supportive of each other.
Good way, to say it. Yeah. Great.
That's a really beautiful memory. So one more question before we wrap things up. What, if you could name a single area, what area would you say you've grown the most in over your time at Lynn-Rose?
Definitely my focus in school. I used to not be the best student in my earlier grades in middle school, but in high school, I remember my teacher talked to me and he told me that, hey, you kind of need to pick up in school. And he gave me like brief descriptions on things that can help me and like strategies that I can use. I'm very grateful for him till this day that he made me grow in some way. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen. Maybe Miss Little, the question again, please.
So if you could pick one area, what part of your life do you think Lynn-Rose has helped you grow the most in your time with us? You already talked about being a very caring individual right from the get-go in SK. So what other areas have you grown?
Sometimes I'm a little bit shy, but usually not. But I'm usually the one who talks, but sometimes it's like shy when sometimes if a grandpa says hi or something, and then I'm like, do I want to answer back, or am I too shy? So maybe I don't know,
Confidence, yeah. And how have you seen that? Presentations that you've done at school when you were in grade 1 versus grade 4? Any presentations that you've done in school in front of a class? How did you feel in grade 1 versus grade 4? I know, but how did you grow?
Well, in grade 1, our presentations were our books. We had to make one about making our own gingerbread man. And the books, I wrote a lot of pages to the book, but the grammar, it made no sense and stuff. Even though my teacher, even though she gave me, she said good job and excellent and everything on the paper, but it was the grammar was so horrible. But when I'm in grade 4 now, we just did a presentation today. And me and my friend, we did it today on a chameleon, and we had to draw a whole picture of the food chain of a chameleon, and we had to write a lot of text about the chameleon, about the food chain, about what happens if the rainforest gets destroyed, and we all presented with our groups today. So it's way more work that we put in, hard work.
I'm glad to hear you're working very, very hard. All right. Thank you to our, sorry. I always want to make sure I don't cut anyone off. Thank you to our amazing volunteer panelists for sharing their experiences with us. Our hope is that these authentic experiences help families with their research into Lynn-Rose School. If there are any questions for those watching, please email us at admissions@lynroseheights.org or give us a call at 905-816-0301. We look forward to connecting with you. Bye-bye.